Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Zephyr Teachout, and I would like to be the next governor of the state of New York, the first female governor of the state of New York. And break up the corrupt old boys network that has taken over Albany and allowed our governors and our state house to serve the wealthy and well-connected instead of creating an economy and a democracy that works for all of us. So I'm thrilled to be here on our second stop of our whistleblower tour. I believe one of the first jobs of leadership is bearing passionate witness to what is actually happening in our state, to listening and actually representing people where they are with the struggles they themselves face. And what we are blowing the whistle on is all the instances where legal corruption, not illegal bribery, but legal corruption, has led to our representatives paying attention only to their campaign donors and not to all of us. So at this point, many voters realize that Governor Cuomo violated the public trust and may have broken the law with his meddling in his anti-corruption Moreland Commission and shutting it down when it got too close to his own donors. I have, as many others have, called for him to speak about that, explain it, and he hasn't. But what I want to say is that the worst corruption is not those particular instances that may be against the law, but when public officials are not doing the public's business, but are doing the business of private donors. Governor Andrew Cuomo, I supported him as candidate Andrew Cuomo, and I had deeply admired his father because he said he was going to clean up Albany. But instead, he has become the master of the broken system in Albany and the servant of his donors. I want to talk about how that affects you here today. And I came here because one of the things that we have seen with Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is running on the Democratic line, although in many ways acts far more like a Republican, is that in place after place, he has pushed for privatization of basic health services, shutting down community health centers. In this area alone, you saw the maternity center in Port Jervis shut down. You saw the Golden Hill nursing home privatized. And you see Governor Andrew Cuomo repeatedly pushing for a future in which there is not room for the public provision of nursing homes, the public provision of the basic health care that so many people need. I am so proud to be here because I have heard so much about the extraordinary tradition of Valley View. I've heard about the quality of care. I've heard about the extraordinary service that the people who work here provide, and about the 183 years in which this has been a central part of this community. You should be proud of those generations of service. And as I just learned, the initial will that created this said that this had to be here as a public service to those who might not otherwise be able to afford a nursing home. And as I understand it, about 2/3 of the people who use this nursing home are low income. It is a basic obligation of our state to serve all of us, not simply those that can afford to pay, and to respect our workers and respect the equal dignity of both the people in the nursing home and the people working at the nursing home. And I am so proud of you for stopping through public hearings and speaking up against this privatization. All of you have been part of this extraordinary fight to save Valley View. Thank you, because you are our future. But the question is, why is there the push to privatization, given that there is not good evidence that it makes fiscal sense, separate from the fact that it clearly does not make moral sense? Why this push? Well, I can tell you that right here you have ties to, in fact, the Moreland Commission. That the law firm Harris Beach, that has been pushing privatization here and that has close ties to Steve Newhouse, that law firm is not only a donor to Andrew Cuomo, but was central in the effort to try to keep the Moreland Commission from doing its work. Harris Beach, and you have to name names. You know, whistleblowing tour, we're naming names. Right. Because if your services are privatized, it's not just because they disagree with you on politics, it's because somebody else is benefiting from it. And Harris Beach were the ones actually trying to block the Moreland Commission, the Anti-Corruption Commission, from doing its job. They filed the lawsuit in January, I believe. They were parties to the lawsuit, not just the lawyers on the lawsuit, parties to the lawsuit, that claimed that what the Moreland Commission was doing was illegitimate and illegal, when what we know is that the Moreland Commission was starting to do the most important work of this state before Andrew Cuomo shut it down. And Harris Beach employed several of the legislators who themselves are trying to shut down our collective investigation into this old boys network. So today, in the face of Andrew Cuomo's silence on the Moreland Commission, silence on Valley View, silence on whether or not he will debate me, we are blowing our whistles loudly to say the reason that there is a push to privatize Valley View is not because it's in the interests of all of us, but because the privatization serves the corrupt old boys network in Albany, and we are breaking that open. And in our 3-day, 18-stop tour, we are recreating the foundations of liberty, a new liberty that engages everyone, and I want everybody to remember that the Statue of Liberty is a woman.